my sister, to the best of my knowledge, cannot conceive. This is according to the reports of 2 top hospitals in South Africa and many hospitals in Nigeria.
I don't want the story of whatever going on between us to overshadow the story of a 22-month-old child who has done nothing wrong to anybody. My name is Ikenna Nyebwe. The persons who filed the petition are sadly my siblings. Okay? What I've always tried to do with this story is to not let the issues with the adults, the family feud going on, to overshadow the issue about this child. Day of my sister's burial, April 14th, 2023. My brother-in-law was invited by police. So casually, I just went along with him to understand what's going on because we have a burial planned. We just came into the Enugu city to retrieve the corpse and take home for the burial. And like a joke, he was detained. Like a joke, I was detained. On what? The petition by my own siblings that we had killed my sister, myself and the husband, and that my sister's child is a product of child trafficking. Like what? Like what? So, I sat down with the police. I said, okay, you know what? I planned this burial. I paid every dime to the burial, with respect to my brother-in-law, because at the time, he couldn't afford it. So I don't mind, let's cancel the burial and go to the root of this matter. If you're accusing me of murder, if you're suggesting that someone had murdered our sister, let's get to the root of it. And I told you, when they were saying, let's just settle that, I said, no, there's nothing to settle. Let's go through with the investigation. So family members and friends who were also there started prevailing on me, because I really insisted. And that's why I regret what's happening now, because had I insisted that time, we would have sorted this nonsense and there wouldn't be this second issue. I really insisted, the most important thing is just to go and bury her so she can rest and this and this and that and this. I said, okay. By the time we eventually came home with the corpse was like past 5 in the evening, right? About 40 to 50% of the attendees have all left and gone home. The only people remaining are just close family members that have it as a point of moral and customary obligation to be there. She was buried. And our father had been buried 2 days prior. And there was then the other issue of the funds generated towards the funeral and generated on the day of the funeral. Okay? As is the custom, at the end of every funeral, the people who were directly responsible for funds will render an account. That was not done. I'm not even talking about sharing the money. I'm just saying basic accounting. Because each one of us, there are 7 of us. If you count out my sister who's died, then there are 6 of us. We all had friends who attended. There's a central table where everybody went to. When the friends that visited me came with envelopes, some of them very fat envelopes. And I always told them, no, we hold it when we are ready. We all go together to the central table. And we did. And we dropped everything there. And till date, I cannot say my friend A gave me this or my friend B gave me this, because there's not been that accountability. And in Igbo land where we come from, funeral gifts like that is like a favor that you owe someone, because people die for people every time. So your friend came to your father's burial when their own father or mother or sister died, you have to go, right, and see them. And it has to be commensurate. Somebody cannot give you 50K in support of your funeral, and then on their day you go and give them 5K, especially if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, it's a different thing. So there was an agreement by them. Like me, I don't really try to infuse myself. They agreed that May 31st of last year, that will be the final day. Anybody who had any money they received on behalf of the family, to send it to the account of 2 other of my brothers. There's Kingsley, there's Chika. to send it to those two people's accounts so that they can now do the final accounting. We said, fine. On that day, April 19th, I sent the 250,000 other group of friends contributed to support us for the funeral. I sent it to Chika. Not long after sending that money, I realized that Chika, Chukuma is the oldest brother, and Okechukwu all left the funny WhatsApp group. Like, okay, what's going on with this accounting now? We came to May 31st. I didn't hear anything. Around June 11th, I sent a message and I was asking, what's going on with this accounting? Nobody responded to me. So on the anniversary of that May 31st, being May 31st of this year, I wrote an email. By now, like the family have, when they say something have fallen down, yakata, it has yakatat. Okay? It has yakatat. About 4 of them have blocked me. Not that I care, to be honest. But yeah, there's no communication. There's no direct communication between myself and about 4 of them. And that's fine. So I wrote an email, because I know they haven't blocked me in email, hopefully, and say, this account that we talked about, let's do it, right? I didn't hear anything. I keep asking. Next thing I heard is I was told they owe me no account. I said, no, you do. Because I am accountable to my friends who gave me things. A friend of mine who visited in Canada from Nigeria, he lives in Lagos, this year, I was just making this as a joke, that he came to my father's burial with 2 cows, monetized, of course. He came with envelope. And I didn't even give him the goat, because in Igbo land, when somebody brings a cow for you, for a funeral, you welcome them with a goat. So I didn't even give him 1 goat. And even though it was like a joke, but it kind of struck me. This was happening around February, late January, early February. It kind of struck me. I'm like, is he kidding? Is he really serious? Later on, I'm like, Chuka, are you joking? He said, no. He came, 2 cows, the equivalent of 2 cows of what he put in his envelope. I said, why am I asking? Did I not see the envelope? I say, things are just scatter. I'm not sure I counted everything. But then it kind of struck me. That's how much of maybe friends, maybe this one voiced his own out. How many other friends are in their mind considering me as an ungrateful person because of how much they've given me and I haven't even acknowledged it. And I didn't acknowledge it because I don't know. Am I making sense? Are you getting what I'm saying? I don't know what was given. I would have known if that account had happened. Remember, I'm just asking for account. I haven't asked anybody to give me money. It's just account. To say Damilola gave 200, and there are also mutual family friends. Even if you count out my own personal friends, there are like mutual friends of the family who came to support all of us. So anyway, after different interventions failed, including our maternal uncle and everybody, the fun is that they are the ones who will run and go and talk to these people. And then when they hear the full story, they tell them, but you are wrong, you should do this. And then they will say no. So after all of that have failed, I petitioned the Inspector General of Police to say, this is a trust. This is not just their money, it's money belonging to all of us. And it's a breach of trust if they refuse to account for it. So, bullies, I call them bullies because that's what they are. Bullies don't like people standing up to them. But all my life, I'm standing up to bullies. So when they saw that petition, they went into a fit of rage. And their goal ever since has been anything possible, anything you can think of that a human being can do to destroy another human being, they have done. And I'm saying this knowing that it will air, knowing that if anybody thinks I've said anything false here, they can sue me for defamation and I will defend myself because I have proof, I have receipts. But that's why I told you I don't want the story of whatever going on between us to overshadow the story of a 22-month-old child who has done nothing wrong to anybody. So let's just assume that even I am the devil, that I'm looking for their trouble. What has the child done?
First of all, I want to thank you very much for trying to to get the other side of the story, because previously he went to another media house. I don't know about them. They published my pictures and that of my younger brother, and those people didn't care to get our own side of the story. So I think now you people are doing the correct thing, following the proper journalistic ethics, and I appreciate that. Okay, let me proceed. First of all, as far as I'm concerned, to the best of my knowledge, the only sister that I had passed on, and she died at the age of 51. And that was the same age that they say that she had a child. So my sister, to the best of my knowledge, cannot conceive. This is according to the reports of 2 top hospitals in South Africa and many hospitals in Nigeria. I didn't want to go more. I would not like to go more because, as you said that the cases are in court. And NAPTIP is a constitutional enabled government agency that is empowered to investigate any cases of child trafficking. I think you agree with me.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the side of NAPTIP, there's no how I can stop a legally empowered government agency from doing their job. And I believe they are in better position to know whether there's a reasonable ground for them to proceed to start investigation and start taking all necessary legal steps. You see what is happening here is that you don't know me, you don't know again. But if we can stay here for 2 months or 3 months, maybe you can now form your opinion about me and form your opinion about him. Because before we start talking about Bera, if I start telling you about Bera and everything, he's trying. I subjectively believe that he's trying to use you to preempt some of the things that is going to be coming up in court. Because he wrote a petition about the Bera and all those things. And if I start giving you my own background of everything that's happened before you start coming up with these stories and other things, you will now know who to believe. So I don't want to come and validate his own fairy tales about family feud. Yes, I'm the petitioner. I petitioned not only about child trafficking. I petitioned about conspiracy to murder and murder of my sister. The child trafficking led to the murder of my sister. We had a meeting because of my sister's condition that she will follow the process of adoption to have a child, a legal adoption. So it came and decided with the husband and her that they are going to follow this process of crypto pregnancy. Because of the fact, I don't want to, because of his consistent pattern of treating everyone as insignificant. So when it turned out now that the foreseeable result ensued, because it is foreseeable that my sister will die in the process. You know about crypto pregnancy, and I'm a human rights activist. My late father, my family is a community leader. So they went ahead and followed the process of crypto pregnancy. My sister cannot conceive. Sadly, you are a woman. And I showed love to my sister by bringing her to South Africa to attend the 2 top-notch hospitals here. So it's not as if I hate my sister. I don't want my sister to have a child. But I will not go and take another person's child for my sister to have a child. You know, there's a degeneration in moral and value system in Nigeria due to defective law enforcement agencies and criminal justice system. People are taking advantage of it to commit gross violation of human rights against the poor and vulnerable. We're not going to be part of it. It's not part of family food. It's part of standing up for what is right. You know, I can tell you a lot of things, my dear, to the extent that you cannot even have chance today to do another thing. You know that Ikenna wanted to secretly bury my sister without my consent. He took her away from one mortuary hospital to another mortuary hospital. Just do your work. Don't allow any person to weak you. If I'm in Nigeria now, I will fly straight to Vanguard office so to interview me, and I will give you avalanche of evidence. And we are standing up for what is right. We cannot be blackmailed. He believes that he can blackmail us because of our family name, that we are going to be ashamed to be. So we want to use it now to push for the fight against child trafficking. I repeat, my sister was 51 years. My sister was suffering from I don't want uterine fibroid for how many years? 2015. From Abuja, from Abia State, from this, I took her to South Africa, everything. Today now, my sister is dead because of their criminal enterprise in Calabar. I don't want to start telling you about the evidence that have been uncovered. That's why he's setting up this thing. So he was thinking that somebody can be flippant to start telling you, look at what they uncovered, look at what they uncovered, look at what. Then he came out to come back to Nigeria. He's a lawyer. He's a lawyer in the office he's an officer of the court. When he has such a thing, he's supposed to rush back to Nigeria to avail himself to clear his name.
My son is leaning down and he's not being taken proper care. It's malnutrition and all these things, So I was not happy. Them detaining my son, talking about child trafficking. I don't know my offense. I don't know his offense. And no one is coming to say that he's the father or the mother. It's just a family fuse. The people that wrote the same mother and father with my wife and my Ikenna, and they have family fuse within themselves. And they started writing petition upon petitions involving my son and myself. So I am really angered. I am not happy. I'm just pleading that whatever it may be, let them release my child for me, my son for me.